Montana Senator Steve Daines, member of the Senate Finance Committee. Senator Daines, welcome, sir. Thank you for your patience. I want to talk about the tax cuts and economic growth, but I want to ask you, in light of these riots in Los Angeles and the strong force that President Trump made and Tom Homan has made running ICE, in your judgment, is there enough money, is there enough dough in one big, beautiful bill for ICE, for the wall, for the technology, for the effort for deportations of the illegals and the criminals? Is there enough money in there, Senator Daines?
Yeah, there is. It's a great start, a very important start to make sure that Tom Homan's got what he needs to protect our country. But look at this contrast with President Trump. As I'm watching what you're watching there, Larry, you've got President Trump at Fort Bragg. So whether he's on the East Coast with the Army, the 82nd Airborne, or the West Coast sending the Marines to rescue L.A., this is about peace through strength. Larry, this message is resonating around the world. And remember what ICE is doing. What's going on in California is outrageous. ICE has prioritized the worst criminals. We've got millions of illegal aliens in the country, thanks to Joe Biden. But ICE is prioritizing the worst of the worst. Those 120 they're starting with, these are hardened criminals. That's what the folks are rioting about in L.A. President Trump has every right to restore law and order, not only in Los Angeles, but this country, for the work, God bless Tom Homan and ICE, what they're doing here to save our country.
You're right, Senator. It's a great East Coast, West Coast, whatever. Donald Trump is a very determined man. And anybody that underestimates that determination of peace through strength is making a gigantic mistake. So I appreciate that thought. On the one big, beautiful bill now, it's basically the tax cuts are going to give us a 3% growth dividend. The growth dividend is going to throw off $4 trillion of revenues, or we're going to be able to reduce the deficit. Alongside that, even the CBO, which is always unreliable in these things, they've even priced out tariff revenues of about $3 trillion. So I see growth and lower deficits and then spending restraint with respect to eligibility and on some of these mandatory savings. It's a good bill. Will you get it done this month, next month, rather?
Yeah, I think we're going to get it done in the Senate this month and then toss it back over to the House. But let's keep in mind, big picture, because there's a lot of confusion. The Democrats are telling lies about this bill. But the most important point is we're going to stop the largest tax increase in American history. That would absolutely slam growth in this country. But number two, it's also now nearly the largest spending decrease bill in the history of the United States. So stopping the biggest tax increase, $1.5 trillion of spending decreases. This is an amazing bill. And as you just mentioned, Larry, if we're going to win and beat China long term, it's about certainty in the tax code, make these positions permanent so American businesses are ready and equipped to compete. You give them permanency in the tax code, lower rates, we're going to beat China. Yeah,
I think it's a great combination. We had Senator Marsh Blackburn on last night. She was talking about the rescissions coming up. The first one, I guess, $9 billion. How about a rescission a month, Senator Daines? How about that? A rescission every month?
I'm all for it. I'll tell you what, we got this from the White House here just in the last hour. What's in this $9.4 billion rescission package, which means it's going to reduce spending by $9.4 billion. We'll vote on that probably next week, the House this week. Larry, here's some of the line items. $67,000 for feeding insect powder to children in Madagascar. $3 million for Iraqi Sesame Street. $4 million for sedentary migrants in Colombia. $2.5 million for teaching young children how to make environmentally friendly reproductive health decisions. And then last, over $1 million for LGBTQI programs in the West Balkans and Uganda. There's a reason why the American people are sick and tired of Washington, D.C. spending. Here's a few examples. And we're going to put that in this package and cut these programs.
Yeah, well, I think it's great. I think the more rescissions you toss up there, the happier you'll make the public. The happier you'll make Elon Musk, who himself is making up with Donald Trump. So maybe we'll have some unity on that, too. Anyway, Senator Daines, I'm sorry we're a little short because of Fort Bragg and President Trump. But thanks for coming on, Senator. We appreciate it very, very much.